Welcome back all. So today I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make a live USB from which to boot off your Linux distro and how to actually install it onto a machine. Now this is going to show you how you can install Linux onto a physical machine, not a dual boot or anything like that. I'm just going to perform the procedure in Windows and show you how it's done. So because I'm like guessing that most of you use Windows, so I'm just going to show you how to do it in Windows. In Linux, this is very simple, but since I'm guessing that most of you will not start off by using Linux, I'm going to show you how to do it in Windows. And then I will show you how to actually install Linux from that USB. So the very first thing that we need to do is download Fedora. And I have both of these windows open here, but let me just go ahead and close them and reopen Firefox. The very first thing that you will need is a Linux distribution, so Fedora. I have opted to go for a Fedora for a number of reasons, and I'm not going to take the default download. I will scroll down and go into Fedora Spins, and I will choose the one with the KDE Plasma Desktop. I'm going to go ahead and click on Download Now, and click here on Download. Oh, by the way, let me just go back. Yeah, okay, save it. But let me go ahead and go back. Can I? Yes. So when you come to this page and when you click on download now, as I've clicked before here on download straight away, it should recognize your system by default and offer you the 64-bit or the 32-bit version. In case you really want to check whether your system is 32-bit or 64-bit, you can go ahead and open up the file manager in Windows, right-click on this PC, go into Properties, and it will say here system type 64-bit or 32-bit, either way. But as I said, it's probably going to detect it by default. Now, the file size is 1.2 gigabytes, so it might take a while for it to download. And I'm going to use this time to tell you why I chose this one and why am I downloading the KDE Plasma Desktop. First of all, Linux as an operating system and as a desktop environment come in two separate packages. You have several desktops which you can use for the Linux operating system, and you have God knows how many Linux distributions out there which function with a wide variety of desktop environments. So Linux is not like Windows where you are fixed, where you are pretty much condemned to a single desktop environment and they all look the same to me pretty much. It is said that there are no two same desktop configurations of Linux in the world. So everybody tunes it and tweaks it on end, and KDE Plasma Desktop is configurable and customizable on end. For example, I'm running a virtual machine here of Windows, but it enables you to do this. You can't see everything that's going on my other monitors, but you can see it's pretty cool. I mean, to do this in Windows would eat up your RAM hilariously. But it allows you to do a lot of cool things. And the second reason why I've chosen Fedora is due to, well, the default desktop environment for Fedora is GNOME. I don't really like GNOME, but it's a fine desktop environment. There's nothing wrong with it, so you can download the default one as well. I have chosen the KDE, and that's where I'm going to be doing the demos. Anyway, the second reason why I've chosen Fedora is because it is a convenient workstation distribution and it's convenient for daily usage as well. I don't think that there is pretty much anything that you can do in Windows that you cannot do in Fedora. Perhaps it's not the beginner's distro, but it's not really complex to use and it's very convenient, especially for our purpose. Why? Why for our purpose? Because it's very secure. It uses SC Linux. You have three security mechanisms. You have mandatory access controls, discretionary access controls, and you have a firewall. So the firewall controls all your incoming and outgoing traffic. Discretionary access controls are user and group-based access controls, so what's defining what certain users can do. And then on top of all of that, you have SC Linux, which provides for discretionary access controls, which specifically state what processes, what programs can do what, and which files can they access. So if you run a program as a user, that program does not have the same permissions as the user that ran it. If it runs in SC Linux context, it has severe limitations of what it can do, which increases the security of the system exponentially. SC Linux was developed by NASA. If you're curious, I would strongly advise you to look it up on the net and just read a little bit about it. It's very interesting material. And then it was released and open sourced to the world, basically, for free. And a Linux community has embraced it and used it ever since. And it's a fantastic way of actually tightening down the security of your system. And it comes configured and installed by default on Fedora, which is awesome. Also, since you're going to have this Fedora, since you're going to have a Linux machine, you need a distro where you can perform your daily work. Fedora is also great for that. Aside from all those things, Fedora is a Red Hat based distro, and it is a Red Hat sponsored project. It contains all the latest technology that Red Hat is testing that they later on intend to implement into the Red Hat distros. The new releases of Fedora are released very fast, and it's pretty easy to update. Like, if you're watching this course and if at a certain point of time, like Fedora 24 comes out or 25 or 26, it's fine. Just go and download that particular one. Just download the latest one. It shouldn't be a problem really at all. Fedora, why isn't it a beginner distro? Well, it tends to have certain glitches here and there. Some things don't tend to work out because it's using bleeding edge technology, which is good. Which is also not a bad thing for us, because we need all the latest technology there, which is relatively unstable, but we still need it for the purpose at hand. So sorry for making a bit of a longer talk here, but I wanted to make it clear why I have chosen this distribution and what do you get with it. Also, the distro is completely free to use. Next up, you will need an image writer. So type in raw write with single W. 32, press enter. And the very first one, again, click save file. This download will be very fast. And go ahead and start the exe file. Say yes here and click on install. Finish. There you go. The installation should be very, very fast. Now go ahead and type in raw write. Start it. Excellent. So it says file system image. Okay. Open. Plug your USB in, please. This is the time where you will need to plug your USB in. The USB should be 4 gigs or more. I think 4 gigs should do just fine. Mine is 4 gigs. Here you can see that it's actually plugged in. Here you go. It's 359, I think, something like that. You can right click on it and format it beforehand. So that's not a bad idea. Just right click and then format, and make sure that it's FAT32, which is going to be very nice. Also, I forgot to mention one more reason why Fedora is good, because it works rather well. It boots rather well on UEFI BIOS machines and non-UEFI BIOS machines. Both work just fine. Anyway, go into downloads here, and you see where it says here compressed FS image, blah, blah, blah. Well, change that and select all files, and then find your Fedora ISO image here where it has been downloaded. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this one, and there you go. Calculating hashes. Just wait for it to finish. You know what I'm missing now? You know when you call an office somewhere and they give you that music while you wait? You should implement that in these videos seriously. Okay, file system image. It gives us the hash if we want to check it later, but not. Probably should. Make sure that you select the right USB here and click on write to disk. It's gonna ask you, are you sure you would like to write the loaded image to drive F, USB, blah, blah, blah. Attention, this will destroy all contents of the disk in that drive. Please be careful here. Select the USB where you don't have any relevant data. In fact, if you're using a USB with data on it, make sure to back up that data, which is a reasonable thing to do. click yes, and then just wait for the procedure to finish. It's gonna take a while depending on the speed of your PC, but it doesn't matter. I shall cut the tutorial here and come back when it is done.